This is the final week before the mid-season madness kicks off. Rose, well, first actually, happy birthday, Johnny.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday. 27 or 72, I don't know.
Yeah, I think those numbers
which
are
way the
split.
camera was looking at it. Yeah, probably. Probably should be. Yeah. All right, final week before we head to the mid-season madness. Rose, a lot of the placings have, or all of the placings, sorry, have been confirmed already. So most of the teams right now, they're just fighting for position, and, and then they get to choose who plays who. If you end up first, you get to choose your first or their first opponent. So ideally, if you're already in, you need to keep winning, so then you get a preferential choice of your opponents. We've got New York Excelsior and the Outlaws coming up first.
Yes, we do. And so taking a look at both of these teams, you got to start out with the New York Excelsior, right? Unfortunately, they are mathematically eliminated from being able to go to Midseason Madness. But after last week, Jaws, they're showing a lot of signs of life. You know, Reinforce even calling Kellen most improved to mediocre, I think. Is that where we landed with that?
Yeah, I think so, which is great.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. I think that's pretty good. Any compliment from Johnny is a good one, that's for sure.
True.
So, yeah, you can take that one to the bank, Kellen. Yeah, they need to find some sort of life. They're 1-9.
Yeah.
Outlaws is 7-3. Like, this seems like it'll be a 3 Overwatch game. Although, Rose, saying that, we've had these weekends before where we're like, oh yeah, whatever. It's 3-0. It's 3-0. And then the underdog team managed to take it to a game 5 out of nowhere.
Which is absolutely wild, and so that's why I'm like, you know what, maybe New York here can take a map or two. I don't think they're going to end up winning the series overall, but I do think that they have the ability to give Houston Outlaws a run for their money, especially when you look at how Kellen really actually has been improving. You know, we can joke about the fact that he looks actually mediocre now, but it's better than sticking out like a sore thumb as a pain point for the team as a whole. You can tell that that coaching that has been integrated into the New York roster has really been helping out Kellen, and I think his confidence is starting to get boosted, which is a really good sign moving forward and looking ahead to stage number 3, especially when you've got some really nice other pieces on this team as well.
Yeah, it is a duel at noon, and the Cowboys standing opposite them is the Houston Outlaws, who had that unreal, like, craziest match ending of all time against the Atlanta Reign the other day. Like, it wasn't an egregious C9. No, it wasn't. They didn't just all step off for no reason. No, it was just microseconds away from being Atlanta Reigns. And then we saw many clips, not only Hawk despair, but we saw Nero yelling, touch the point! The Outlaws, look, they managed to clutch up at the very end of it. I called it the boostio, it don't matter, but apparently it very much did. And maybe riding high coming into this week and going into the mid-season madness, in fact.
They definitely are, especially when you can see that Merit is one of the top sojourns in the league right now. You can hear the desk talking about how incredible he has been playing this particular hero, and you know, I think we can look at this as a good case of, like, you can have strong DPS, but you also need a strong tank, right? Otherwise, you're not really going to get a whole lot done with your team, and that's where Dante comes in. That's where Piggy gets to come in as well, providing a lot more flexibility to what Houston Outlaws can bring.
Yeah, this is push week, so we are having the push maps, 2 of them in this series, if we need to go that far, of course. So we're starting out in New Queen Street, and Outlaws starting Dante. Excelsior, of course, with Kellen, as always. And they have picked up a 3rd flex support, Rose. So, you know, that's pretty cool. I wonder when we'll actually get to see that. It is really funny, and I look back at the debates from the the prior to the season starting. It's like, okay, so where do we kind of pick up supports? Who do we end up picking up? We need main supports, right? And a lot of teams, the general thinking was, oh, double flex is insane. It is insane right now, but there's been plenty of times throughout the start of the season where you've needed that main support, and the flex supports that can't, or like haven't had an easy transition over to that role, it's been quite a pain point. And I think NYXL or New York Excelsior even, it's been one of them.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, we can even see that some of the teams that still have a main support player that is trying to play those flex support roles, because we are in the double flex support meta, they're still not performing up to expectations. And so I am looking forward to seeing what New York Excelsior can really bring to the table here as we get to start at New Queen Street, looking at the lineups, and I don't think anybody is surprised that we're seeing the Doomfist coming out from Dante, but Kellen is also going to match that with a Doomfist of his own.
Okay, and Merit is on the Sojourn, of course. Who's really surprised? Like you said, Rose, best Sojourn in the league, stats-wise. Looking great so far. And yeah, this on paper is very much an Outlaws win. It's where the New York Excelsior can play a little bit of upset here and force Outlaws down the table just a little bit so they don't get their preferred pick of opponent later on. Kellen is discorded pretty early on, but yeah, Ganojin just left out in the open. Kellen's pretty low. The rest of the Outlaws now just converging on his position, and with little support, New York Excelsior lose control of the bot.
The way that Houston played that, it really put Kellen into a tough position where he had to retreat, because you're looking at Myeonbong being the main source of healing for this team, and if you are out of LOS, then you're on your own. So New York Excelsior are going to crumble. Houston Outlaws get control of the bot, get a chance to push forward, but this corner can be a place where New York Excelsior can dig their heels into the ground when they are going to look at having those nice angles, and they can control where Houston comes from.
100 energy for Merit there, you got to be careful if you're New York. Good first pick, Lasher ends up falling, and New York Excelsior surging forward. They got a pulse bomb in their back pocket, but Pelican going down on the ground. Don't look like Flora is going to need it. Nice double kill for the Tracer. New York Excelsior come back, managed to pick off one of the supports of the Outlaws first. Losing Lastro there is pretty disastrous.
Yeah, that was not great, because that really did start to snowball the fight for the New York Excelsior, but these are the signs of life we were looking for. Let's see how much New York Excelsior can get done with Flora's Pulse Bomb. I love that didn't have to be used in order to secure that team fight, but this could be a way to kind of continue to push this bot forward.
Yeah, they're not quite in the lead just yet. Outlaws going to have to recontest. Transcender's coming out for Lastro. Nano available for Outlaws. However, New York Excelsior pulling the trigger first. Good sleep from Iris. However, that pulse bomb looked pretty decent to start off with, but actually goes a little bit wide. Flora not landing anything with that. And Outlaws just go for the cleanup.
Really nice clean fight there. Houston really not having to invest much more than the nano boost. And now you get a chance to keep that Transcendence for the Dragon Blade that Yaki is approaching. Gangnam Jin is a little behind being able to match Pelican's Dragon Blade as well. And so when we take a look at these blades just being used by themselves, that Transcendence should be enough to be able to counteract the other.
Lead has been gained now by the Outlaws. No nano for the blade, but they might not need it. Just Discord orb on somebody, and they should be good. However, Pelican does go pretty low, as Yaki tried to go for a little offensive dash into the front line. A Transcendence to push Merit and the rest of the gang forward, and a Transcendence actually forced on the New York Excelsior side. Flora picks up Merit with no power slides. Little to no luck getting away. The blade's been pulled by Yaki, gets punched into the board, instantly dealt with. Iris and Lastro holding down the fort with the help of Dante. However, New York Excelsior now gain control of the bot once again.
Pelican actually went down without using the Dragon Blade as well, and so now that Gangnam Jin has used that Transcendence, this should be open season for Pelican to be able to get some work done with this blade. Still no nano, but Iris is approaching it.
Holds one floor again. He's building these up fairly quickly, Rose.
Yeah.
Just the efficiency not there just yet. Got to be careful though. Still, Pelican with the blade online. Flora once again missing that pulse, and Iris just happy just wait for the nano. No, maybe not. It doesn't matter. There's the reflect kill. Easy peasy. Straight on to Myeonbong. He was so close, that nano too. Maybe that would have saved them. But quite unlucky that your teammate shot the reflect and it ended up killing you. Double kill for Dante off the back of it, and the Houston Outlaws once again in control. Flora is in the back line, and goodbye.
Yep. Hey, at least Flora has been building up to these pulse bombs fairly quickly, but Iris with another nano can actually use that to help Merit build up to their own ultimate as well.
What is happening?
Where is Lastro?
Oh, you win those though. You hit a headshot, you win those. Lastro's on the flank, why not? You go off, King. Doofus ready for an Nano. In fact, another support going down. Outlaws lose Lastro. Who's already surprised? He was on the flank for Sentry. Alrighty.
No Nano Zenyatta? I was going to get to that, too, as a potential
That's happened a lot, to be fair, Rose.
No, it's not a meme, I swear. It's a legit strategy that teams have been using.
Look, if your Zen can pop off with the Nano, and then you assert dominance with the Trance when you've won the fight, all power to you. Sleep Dart goes a little wide. Oh, Merritt caught out again. He just goes to these power slide like super aggressive. Takes a super aggressive position, never ends up working out. Nano available, however, Iris ends up going down. Nice little one clip by Flora. A Transcendence keep Outlaws in the fight. Flora's third pulse bomb. Can he land a connection? Might not need to, as the Outlaws willing to play all the way at the back. They know they haven't got too much healing to bear. And that checkpoint in the sights of Excelsior.
Wow, look at that. It's going to be a really nice capture if the Houston Outlaws allow it to happen, though.
Nano onto the Doom. Merit his anti. The Transcendence thrown on in for Excelsior, as well as that Pulse bomb. That Pulse once again going a little bit wide. Uncharacteristically, Flora missing a whole bunch. But with Dante falling and a nice little defense on the payload, and Merit not finding all too much with the overclock. In fact, ended by the Zenyatta. New York Excelsior control the bot still. Pelican refusing to go down, but honestly, Outlaws gonna have to back up and go again. That bot's so close to the checkpoint. In fact, it is there. So now the Excelsior have that forward spawn.
They do, and that's something they're going to have to, give up in terms of just getting additional progress on the bot right now. They don't have the positioning for it, especially because Pelican is still alive. So you can see New York is going to go ahead and just allow Houston to take some of this space before they engage with the Nano available, maybe even the Blade. Are they going to actually use this combo this time? Knowing that Lastro, well,
I mean, he's looking for summon. There's the Nano. Blade not needed, maybe. Lastro just gets dunked on, cut in half with the Nano and just the shift. However, a Blade from Pelican gets cleaned up. New York Excelsior still holding their ground and not needing to utilize the Blade in that fight either.
No, you saw the Nano get used there, but honestly, the way that both of these teams are playing with that Ana, it really doesn't need to be a Nano Blade combination every single time those ultimates are online. You're a little off-kilter anyway in terms of the Transcendence progress versus the Dragon Blade and using those to counteract each other. So I like that you can use the Nano with a different tool.
Big pulse one coming up for Flora, I can tell. I'm willing it to existence. There it is. It's done. The reverse caster curse as Merit goes down to the pulse. A nice meteor strike in the back forces that Transcendence from the Outlaws. However, with Kellen sleeping and now dead, the Outlaws are still in control. Pelican cleaning up. One of the biggest tools to deal with that Genji is that Doomfist. Like, you're just punching him away, getting him off the back line. But if you're Doomfist, Kellen in this situation is slept and then instantly killed. Pelican can just run a rampant.
Yeah, well, I mean, the brief stun as well can make that really nice if you can follow up with a quick, like, 1-2 punch. And then you don't have to deal with the Genji anymore, and then you're also not concerned about having the Dragon Blade either. But look at this. New York Excelsior is making this a really close map, Jaws. We have 2 minutes remaining here to see who's going to be able to take it. There's not much meterage separating the two teams.
Yeah, not much at all. In fact, 10 or so, give or take. Nanoblade, or Nano, sorry, available for the Outlaws. No Blade just yet. And with a minute to go, it's really anybody's game at this point, although Outlaws still control the bot. Iris healing up the rest of his team and just trying to stall out for as long as possible. I mean, that's what the Outlaws just need to do. Just not die. There's the Nano. Okay, they didn't even need it. Okay, Yaki tried to go in with the Blade, but he found almost zero ground. The Outlaws are ready and willing to use that Nano defensively, but they didn't need to do it. Now they pop it on Lastro as he fires some orbs down the way. Nice deflect kill from Pelican. Make that a 3-piece for the Genji. And the Outlaws firmly in control of this bot now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, I don't know if the Transcendence from Gangnam Jin is going to be enough to kill the momentum that the Houston Outlaws have now. It's less than a minute remaining. If New York Excelsior do not win this next team fight, it's definitely going to be all over. But even then, Jaws, it's going to be a tall ask.
Gotta be careful. Maris in your spawn. They do deal with him. Nano has been used on Kellen already. The bot is in control of the Excelsior, but the Outlaws should be good for the time. Wow, okay, the Pelican even forces the recall there on Flora, who's just trying to push the bot to the Outlaws side of the map, but Pelican is denying him so much space. A Transcendence to match Lastro's as Gangnam Jin runs back to the rest of his team. The robot is still in control of the Outlaws. There's only, what, 20 seconds to go now? The Excelsior need to do something, and they need to do something fast.
Yeah, but even still, they're going to have to win like 3 team fights on top of the one that they'll have to win out here as overtime gets activated.
Blade, overclock, Merit looking for bodies. He's found one. Pelicans found another. The Excelsior sleeping with the fishes. Outlaws gonna take the map quite handily. OT ticks down, and they lead the series 1-0.
I still think that New York Excelsior gave Houston Outlaws a bit of a run for their money there, but at the end of the map, Houston Outlaws just continuing to work like clockwork, especially just getting a value from those ultimates. So good start for Houston. See if they can keep it up.
Yeah, not bad whatsoever. I mean, Merit and Pelican just unhindered. Like, they jumped to the back line. Oh, your support's dead. And then they were just almost spawn camping with the help of Lastro. Felt really good. Outlaws up a map. New York Excelsior still struggling to find their footing this year, but this could be the game that they do it. It was fairly close. We'll see you in map number 2.
Please don't let me in the mood.
Please don't let me into my zone. I just need some time of my own. All these people trying to get a conversation. You can conversate to that tone. My gut eyes on that throne, yeah. So I'm never alone, yeah. All these people trying to box me in. I'm at my weather, it's on, yeah. Now they ask where I'm at. Making hits that line back. I'm MJ, I'm 2-3, man. I just need some time back. I'm zoned in like defense. My life gone, no recess. But I live my best one, so I got no regrets. So gone, I'm gone. Finally back in my home. I'm working like so much, they swear I had me a clone. Can't answer my phone now, just leave it there, that tone. Ballin' can't beat me up, cause I'm back in my zone now.
Welcome back. Outlaws versus New York, or Houston versus New York, or Outlaws versus Excelsior, whichever way you want to slice it. It's blue versus green today. Circuit Royale is the next map. Now, Rose, that push map a little bit closer than what I expected it to be.
Yeah, same. I mean, like, I think everybody looking at this matchup is going to say, oh, Houston should have this based on map record easily like 3-0, right? But this is what we're looking at when we look at how New York Excelsior has actually ended up getting better over the course of the season, where I feel like they're finally starting to gel as a team. And so I'm really excited to see what they end up doing for the rest of this match and also moving forward into the third stage. But, Jaws, we've got a substitution on the board here for the Outlaws.
Yes, we do. Piggy has arrived. He's in. Dante is out. No real surprise. I mean, Piggy Sigma God will be playing for Circuit Royale. And Merritt, want to continue to see him on the Sojourn. I'm going to be very honest with you. You've got to just continue to pad the stats. You might as well make a break between rank 1 Sojourn and rank 2 Sojourn. It's got to be done.
Yeah. I think Merritt right now is undeniably the best Sojourn in the league, just from stats alone for this week, heading into this week.
Yeah.
But maybe
just from stats alone, I'd still argue Kai is an exceptional Sojourn. And then obviously in the East too, like Shy. There's a lot of good Sojourns there right now. It's crazy. It's really hard to tell. And obviously, like you said, the stats do point one way, but
they're good for a different reason, right? Like,
sure,
yeah, you can
definitely
look at them and rank them by stats, but I think, you know, what you're alluding to is that either you're going to have these kind of individual hero moments, which I feel like we have seen a lot from Merritt, or like from Kai's perspective, you're really integral in securing the damage necessary to get the team fight win.
Yeah, like Kai's just so good at picking people off too.
Yeah.
Like starting these fights, like, oh well, Kai's got a headshot.
Yeah, like
well,
that's it.
Guess we go again. Yeah, exactly. Good. I'm glad Pelican's sticking on the Sojourn. I mean, Merritt, sorry, and Pelican is on the Genji.
Yeah.
I will say, trying to aim at Sojourn's head hitbox, she has power slide, of course. I don't know if it's because I'm not used to it yet, but it seems very difficult as Widow. I will say that. Plus, she just puts her left click isn't hit scan, it's a projectile, and so she's kind of peppering with you and like straight AD strafing, and it just feels so annoying to hit her head. So props to anybody that can consistently do that. Oh, okay, that's also something pretty hard to do as a Widowmaker. Get off the Genji like that.
No, especially with a deflect as one of Genji's abilities. Usually pretty hard to weave that shot in between that cooldown, but that's a nice pick to kick things off for the New York Excelsior. They will be able to grab a ton of space here as you see Houston Outlaws backing up to set up around this corner as they wait for Pelican to get back, because this is the tough part, right? Pelican really needs to have point presence in order to be effective. Or, I guess, deflect the Widowmaker shot. One of the two.
Yeah, just deflect it.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Dangerous spot for the Houston Outlaws backline right now as Flora takes to these stairs. Look at the angle you can get. Oh, yikes. Dangerous position from Myunbong, apparently. That's through just chilling near that tree. Gets a right-click headshot on to Myunbong. Nice nade onto Yaki, who's now 1 HP. Houston Outlaws making a stand on point A, with Yaki falling over. Good push, though, initially. But Circuit Royale, Rose, especially this first point, takes so long to cap.
It does. And then you, as the attacking team, have the added difficulty in that second point of having to deal with a defense that has that high ground advantage. And so even if you get past this checkpoint, you know, well, that...
It's good. There's the Nano from Pelican, though. Can he return the favor? He's already found 1 kill. Couldn't quite land the second onto Kellen, who was so low and antied. A Nano boosted Kellen is going to walk forward. A Flux coming up rather soon, but he's nanoed, but can't survive that damage. Piggy with a perfect response, stopping Kellen from getting the ults and killing him off before, even during the Nano.
Kellen, unfortunately, was so low, and at least Kellen didn't, panic hit the ultimate button, so that is a really nice engagement tool that New York Excelsior will have going into this next fight, but you gotta worry about Lastro's Transcendence here. It's a very classic counter maneuver to that Flux, and if Lastro is able to use that as a response, then New York may not be able to get through the holds that Houston Outlaws has on this point so far.
There is the Flux, there is the Trance, and a Blade. In fact, Yaki dove to the backline, and Pelican just answered it in kind with a Blade. 2 kills for the Genji. Now he's just dodging out of the way to make sure he doesn't get a headshot, and Merit follows up with another couple of kills. Houston Outlaws have burned the time bank down a good 3 minutes in the Excelsior with only a minute to go. Have to push that payload just a couple of meters, but it will be a tough couple of meters at that.
Well, at least they got the Transcendence out of Lastro. So now Yaki's Genji Blade should be able to get something else done here. But yeah, I think I heard you reacting to the Flora Tracer.
Hello. Hello, Yaki. Straight over the top. I was waiting for him to slide and then pull it and then dash into the air and then get 1 shot. That was what I was waiting for right there.
Fair
enough. Not going to happen. Gangnam has the Transcendence 2 rows. Could be quite integral to helping Yaki stay alive mid-blade if they need it. Yaki instantly discorded. Reflect already used, but Piggy's dead. The New York Excelsior now with 1 person up. No, the Outlaws just playing all the way at the back. Yaki just using the blade more of a zoning tool. Outlaws managed to force the Transcendence, in fact. The point does get capped, but a good force of ultimates means that they're going to be able to hold this high ground with impunity almost. But Yaki does send both supports from the Outlaws back to the spawn room. So now they're up on height. If they just force Outlaws Rose to just hold this small choke, could be quite tough for them to get much.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Hopefully Houston are, able to kind of dig their heels in. I think they're going to be able to have this high ground, and that is what makes it difficult for New York Excelsior to continue to aggress on this point. But Flora has switched off of the Tracer and back onto the Widowmaker here. Interesting.
Ooh, that was clean. Nice little nano there onto Pelican. Don't need the blade. More often than not, you're not using it with blade anyway now. Just in the neutral, Genji is still very strong, but Yaki did every single time that Pelican gets a couple of kills in the Genji, Yaki is already in there, cleaning up the Outlaws, or at least trying to. So unfortunately, they didn't manage to find anything else. Transcendence online for the Outlaws coming up. Kellen's gonna have a tough job. Flora's changed the Widowmaker. Doesn't quite land the shot onto Pelican.
No, and this is why I was kind of confused. Weird angles to try to grab.
Ooh, Lastro already 2% away from the Transcendence, didn't have it in time. A very early Flux usage from the New York Excelsior. Kellen, I can imagine, was expecting Lastro to just hit that Q key and save the rest of his team, but unfortunately, it was only a couple of percentage points away. And now with 3 people on the payload, the Outlaws have to rush back to try and touch in time. Are they going to be able to? The rock from Kellen goes a little bit wide, and a dash from Pelican to put him on the point and stop that payload from going. The blade not available for Yaki to try and clean up the fight, but it's available for Pelican as Piggy sent Excelsior high in the sky. Too low are the rest of Excelsior to carry on this fight. And now with 35 seconds to go, same story as point A Rose.
Even though Lastro didn't have the Transcendence online as an answer to Kellen's Flux, I think that actually works out better for them, Jaws. Houston Outlaws get to stop the...
Oh, no, the C9! Oh, the C9! Gangnam was hiding the whole time! Oh my god! Oh no!
I spoke too soon! Oh, I spoke too soon! Oh my god!
Oh, how does this keep happening in 2022?
Houston!
I don't know!
Stop! You're cursed! So many C9s for you, whether in your favor or against you. I don't know if you know this, but that C9 was against
H9?
you.
All right, blade for the Outlaws.
Oh my God.
They got Nano coming up too. Yaki's already used a blade of his own. Nice deflect actually from Pelican, survives. This Nano's getting not much at all, and neither is that blade. Headshot from Flora, shuts down the Nano blade. Houston Outlaws fumbling the payload and fumbling their ults on this second to last corner. New York Excelsior in a good spot to approach third.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say here except Flora good, headshots good. Like, yeah, look at Flora kind of taking aim for this. Oh, that Nano had just been donated over too. And that was a really nice shot.
Straight to the dome. Wow, Pelican. Didn't expect Outlaws to be that, or Excelsior to be that far up, I can imagine. The blade has been pulled. Nice nade to keep Iris alive, but Yaki still ends his life. The Houston Outlaws now scurrying back to spawn. The Excelsior putting the pressure on the payload. Yaki doing so much work in this game. Already, Pelican dead. Who touches the payload in this situation? Merritt just wants to sit all the way at the back, but he's going to need to. The New York Excelsior is still pushing the payload in with 3 meters to go. Merritt is sent sky high, but Pelican luckily comes back from spawn just in time. A transcendence from Lastro to keep them in the fight, but little Outlaws left to touch. It is just Piggy. Excelsior just need to deal with him, and it should be good. A nice anti-nade sends him all the way back. Even Lastro was in the back line of the New York Excelsior trying to find something cheeky, but it wasn't good enough. Overtime was there. Outlaws, they do forgo the point. And Excelsior, they get third. They don't get any time in the bank, but, you know, that might not have even happened if Gangnam Jin didn't C9 the Outlaws on point B.
Oh my God, the back cap. The back cap that led to a full map completion, and that's really impressive too, because
I want to know where he was hiding, Rose.
I don't, did he walk up? I think he walked up the stairs. I think he just said, I'm gonna take the stairs, I'm gonna take the quick route. You guys are all chasing after the rest of my team, and just kind of went for it.
Yeah, you can't hear the Zen, right? He doesn't have footsteps.
No footsteps.
He do be floating though. So
even with
I know people a long time ago were complaining about that Zen doesn't have the footsteps, so you can't use it as like an audio cue. I'm not sure if people are still complaining about that, but hey. It results in great moments just like this.
Wait.
Oh, here you go. Okay.
Oh, where is he? Oh, he's just back there.
He just be chilling. It looked like the Outlaws were, well, we have to just chase them to spawn, and Gangnam Jin was just kind of chilling. So.
Oh my God, they just left him alone behind like the info sign or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Let's go again. Let's switch sides, see how the Houston Outlaws do on their attack. But New York Excelsior definitely set up to get a map win here. Joss, it's impressive that they were able to complete all 3 points. Something we constantly say is very difficult to do on this map.
Yeah. Even not getting any time is still very reasonable.
Yeah.
How slow this first point is. It's kind of insane. You burn most of your time bank just on first. So a little bit ridiculous because there's 2 very defensible points. This first corner and then the second corner, of course, where Flora is sitting right now. Nice little back shot there onto Pelican. Does have reflect, so Flora can't go for the double tap. Tries to go for the flick onto the supports, but it's Yaki actually who goes down first. Now Flora's in a little bit of trouble against the Genji. A couple of right clicks from Pelican do end up missing. He manages to get the Venom Mine, I suppose, but the rest of his team not quite so lucky. However, without a tank, New York Excelsior have to just retreat. A Widow and a Nana can't really stand up to the might that is Piggy and Pelican on the payload.
No, but the payload should actually not get to that next corner before New York Excelsior end up coming back to recontest. But of course, as I say that, where is Kellen? Kellen's not actually going to be able to hold this corner, and that's not great for the defense here for New York if they can't get set up.
Oh, New York at least have a sight line now, I suppose, with the Widow. But yeah, that's about it, Rose. You got to take care of Merritt up in the height. Yeah, he does get body shot, but he's got... Oh, a Discord orb on him? No Harmony orb? Harmony orb? Okay, well, Cullen just sends a few hyperspheres his way, sends him to a different galaxy. Now they can hold much further forward than they were up to a minute ago.
That's good. So New York Excelsior can keep this super defensible position. And now you're looking at Houston having to start using some ultimates here. Iris, with the amplification matrix online, can buy a lot of space if it is used on this corner to push New York Excelsior back.
Oh, Yucky's in trouble. Double deflect. There's the window. Flora still peeking through it. Insta-kills Iris. It's a lot of damage now lost for the Outlaws going through that window. Lastro can still do a fair bit. Merritt can one-shot with the railgun, but once again, Flora coming up rather large. As Tracer was decent on map number 1, but it's Widowmaker. This is where he really shines.
Yeah, he's super warmed up too. You can tell Flora is hitting these incredible shots, finding these angles, and that's really difficult sometimes when you do have a Genji that can dive after you.
Left flux. Boom. Instant lamp. Oh, nice nade, but lamp still exists. Pelican gets rocked out of the lamp, but luckily the anti-nade wore off. Now there is a return flux from Piggy. What is the response? Looks like a nano onto Kellen to keep him in the fight. He's going to do a fair bit of damage. Misses the rock, just goes straight into the shield. Perfect shield placement from Piggy there. And with only a minute to go, the Outlaws still need to find a kill to open this one up. Pelican can use the blade maybe to try and find a little summon. As Gano Jim has stepped so far forward. The blade on the height. It looks like Flora didn't even see him there, but the Transcendence was just in time as Flora jumped down to the safety net of Gangnam Jin. 50 seconds to go and the Outlaws, very little left in their bank. Maybe an overclock will turn the tides, but Excelsior not giving this point up just yet, Rose.
No, I mean, Gangnam Jim using the Transcendence means that it isn't available for the overclock, but Flora may just shut it down here.
Ooh. Kellen ends up biting the dust. A headshot onto Piggy, almost make that 2. That would have ended his life. Gangnam Jim follows that up with a swift orb, but Merritt popping the overclock. Time runs out for Excelsior on point A, as the Outlaws manage to find the cap.
We can never underestimate Merritt as the best sojourn in the league with an overclock. That was definitely clutch there to be able to get Houston Outlaws that first point. And now you're looking at second, where this is where New York Excelsior can really shine. Flora very much performing well on this Widowmaker and has this high ground advantage to be able to play super far back, where you might not be able to actually reach Flora. Pelican's gonna have to go back there, but it might be deadly.
Yeah, Merritt's just ideally just looking to charge up a rail off of the shield, but that's proving quite costly right now as his health bar just keeps going so low when he peaks. He's got worried about those headshots like you were saying, Rose. However, the payload's getting quite a considerable distance. It's up to Flora, really, here to find an initial pick. Window opened up from Iris once again, but an immediate flux from Kellen to try and answer this. A lamp deployed by the Outlaws as everybody survives the gravitic flux. And now the nano on Yaki in the backline. There's no lamp to worry about now, and there's no supports for the Outlaws. Triple kill, maybe? Merritt standing in front of Yaki. He does manage to escape with his life, but maybe not for long. A Venomine kill onto Pelican is good. And the New York Excelsior once again hold the Outlaws push.
Where is Kellen going?
Okay, we're looking at the payload. Okay,
yeah, we gotta
no
make sure
C9s.
no C9s.
No C9s.
Yeah.
We're good.
Nope. We're all set. We're good there.
I feel like we need payload cam. You know how like
yeah.
Some games is how you have like a cam in the
like
bottom.
a dash cam.
Yeah, like a dash cam. Yeah, you just need a permanent one just for the payload this season, I think.
I think so. That'd be very useful for a lot of these teams.
All right. Flux available from Piggy. Wow, they used Lamp already to save Piggy's life. They can just go hyper-aggressive. You might as well. There's the blade from Yaki. Goes pretty low as he has Discord Orb on top of him, but it forced the Outlaws all the way back. Yes, a wasted blade there, Yaki, it was, but it doesn't really matter. You forced...
Is it?
Nothing. Actually, maybe it does matter, because you didn't even force Trans.
Yeah,
that was pretty bad.
They didn't force Transcendence, but now look, it's last fight territory for the point.
True. They
Maybe?
forced time.
I'm trying.
It's all good. Blade for Pelican. Naso has the Trans. Nothing really to deny, to be honest with you. You can just use that willy-nilly if you so chooses.
Yeah.
There is the Transcendence from the Excelsior to add... Oh, that damage follow-up onto Yaki. 300 HPS is that Transcendence. If you do more damage than that, Yaki dies. And that's exactly what happened. Houston Outlaws marching forward. A lamp has been forced. The Excelsior have only got the nano in their back pocket to defend this point. Flora in a whole heap of trouble. A nice little combo from Pelican, but now with trading DPS, that's not great. The nano onto Kellen to help him survive, and now Pelican using the blade. He spots a Lonely Zen in the sidelines. Gangnam Jim on another world at this point. Not sure what he was doing there, trying to find another sneaky kill maybe, but the Outlaws take him out. A lamp will help see them through this fight as the Excelsior end up giving up the point. Overtime is here, and Outlaws do manage to cap, but with 1:30. Circuit Royale, pretty tough to finish, but if Excelsior have done it, Outlaws can do it too.
That's true. And especially with Merit having an overclock, that might be enough to be able to push you past that really difficult corner. And then maybe you get the snowball into being able to complete the entire map. But look where New York Excelsior have pathed. They're just trying to go up to this high ground through the window, also shutting down these flanks that Pelican might be looking to take alongside Merit for these high ground angles.
And that's what Excelsior did on their attack, was just force that high ground super early. So they know the exact weak point of this comp. Making sure Outlaws don't get the high ground. Now Piggy's gonna poke his little head out. Yeah, it's just a whole heap of damage, unfortunately, Piggy. Not sure you can assault that one on your own. Payload's still making a good bit of movement, however.
Yeah, but I like that Myungbong is playing so far back, because then you have access to being able to pivot to where that card is eventually going to want to end up.
Oh, nice power slide. In fact, here is just LOSing the Gravitic Flux. It wasn't quite on the corner. It was a bit more forward than that. Window to start off, and it pushes Outlaws all the way up onto the high ground. But Flora changing to the Widow. I mean, perfect. He gets the pick onto Lastro. Another quick headshot. No. Flick and a miss onto Iris's little head.
So
the Outlaws now... It's OT, it is pushing still, and Merit using the overclock, not finding all too much. In fact, he's found Yaki, but I wouldn't want to take the 1v1 if I were you. He's got 100 charge, and he finds the kill onto Flora. He was scoped in and couldn't see him. Yaki, perma-pocketed. He's got the nano, he's got the dashes, and now the blade. Piggy had no chance, and neither do the rest of the Outlaws against the New York Excelsior. They managed to hold on third and claim the map to tie the series up.
Victory.
Wow, New York Excelsior, what a map! That's very exciting. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I mean, you should be. That was, again, Gangnam Jin, the hero of this match so far for the New York Excelsior, getting that big C9 on point B. Yaki still performing exceptionally well on the Genji, who is really surprised. Piggy went for that flux at the very end there. I would say it's desperation, but not really. I mean, you just need to use it, right? Unfortunately, it was just too low to do anything. Houston Outlaws, they let go of this map. No more H9s. Please no. We're going to King's Row next for our hybrid. We'll see you in a sec.
trip, my baby G-Shock said it's time. All my thoughts linked up, multiplying, no divide. Dropping hit after hit, never miss, it's a crime. But my karma stay lit, Buddha sit by my side.
Yaki showing up big versus the Outlaws already. Looking clean on the Genji. He has very much been, Rose, a consistent factor for the New York Excelsior this season, regardless of their scoreline currently.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've seen this with some other teams as well, just having really strong DPS lines that you can notice the impact right away. And Yaki's definitely one of those players that you've got the skill, you've got the numbers to back that up, you can see that on your screen, but it's all about the other pieces as well, which are definitely coming together for this series, Jaws.
Yeah, I mean, helps when Gangnam Jin hits that big old C9, that's for sure. We'll see if that can happen again. I doubt it. It's King's Row, a little less of an open map. No substitutions for either side. No more Doomte, more Piggy. That's what you love to see. It was fairly interesting in that last map road. The amount of times that Outlaws were able to force the Transcendence out of Excelsior, and then Piggy was able to just follow up with a big flux. And then their adaptation to the Zen and the BAP to have a counter to the flux, and then also have a Transcendence or a lamp to see them through the rest of the fight. So I like the mid-map adaptations there from the Outlaws.
Yeah, I like that as well, especially because Zenyatta and Baptiste, that has been also kind of the classic duo of counters to the Sigma when you do see that flux. Either you have the lamp, you have the Transcendence, but the way that these two teams are playing with the Transcendence in mind is not really to counter a specific ultimate, it feels like. They're really using it as kind of like a finishing move for some of these team fights.
Finishing move, it just makes me think of like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Fight.
Kick. Zenyatta kick.
Big finisher. Yeah, Zenyatta kick is the finisher.
Yeah.
Imagine if we got those like X-rays where like when Zen kicks somebody, it's just like...
Oh, like ultra slow-mo, like...
Yeah. That would be ridiculous, but I'm not sure it would have the same age rating in the game as it does now.
No, probably not.
But there you go. All right, Outlaws on the offense first. Pelican Echo. All right. What we seeing here, Rose?
Okay. Yeah, we're seeing a Pelican Echo. I'm okay with this. We've seen how impactful Pelican can be on this hero. Definitely one of his best. And this also is going to be a weird one, though, because Flora's on the Sojourn. I don't know how much you really want to go up against a Sojourn as an Echo. That doesn't feel comfy.
Yeah, and charging off the shield of Piggy to hit those right clicks can be quite deadly. Although the neutral fire, not the best. Oh, okay, well, Yaki's still doing work on the Genji. That was like basically off screen. Sorry, Genji dash, and then Pelican's body just flopped to the ground. Good start. Yeah, so the railgun, of course, hits the Echo fairly easily, but the normal fire, not so much. But I guess he is lucky that he has Piggy on the other team to charge up off the shield.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly what I was looking at as well. And then you also have Gangnam Jin that can really help you too, just to kind of keep you alive. Yaki's still gonna do work here. Houston Outlaws gotta get reset. What else are we looking at, Joss?
Your Yaki right now is doing Yaki things. Oh, almost got the, whoa, should be easy kill. Yes, sir. Yaki already going crazy for the New York Excelsior. 55% on Dragon Blade. Yep. Not bad whatsoever.
Well, especially when you're just continuing to pick up Pelican as well. That's gotta feel pretty good. I was talking about Flora being the problem. I think we're more worried about Yaki at this point getting up in your grill if you're Pelican.
All right, Piggy trying to force a point. A bit easier versus the Doomfist. Doomfist can step up, but against someone like an Echo, pretty tough. As soon as he puts up the power block, you can just pepper him with the sticky bombs. Kellen is in danger, however, a nice little nade there from Myunbong, even a nano invested. Straight to the back line, here it's in trouble. A nice couple of shotgun shots from the fist, should be good. Yeah, Yaki just signaling his ult is nearly ready, 70%. The Outlaws really have not had a say in this. However, they do manage to get one tick.
Yeah, they did. New York did have to give up a little bit of that progress, just be able to get some space back, but also Kellen just bought so much time using that nano. Pelican's turn.
Pelican trying to find targets, but everybody's just scattered. However, Kellen does end up going down to a body shot even of Merit after the Discord. In fact, Yaki falls too. The Nano Echo may be a distraction technique while Merit deals with the backline. A duel versus Flora, pretty easy when Piggy's on the flank. The Outlaws claim point A. Nano Echo did nothing at all, but Merit did everything. Ooh, another nice little kill.
Yeah, look at that. Merit's going to be rewarded with the overclock available, and Houston did not need to use anything other than the nano boost. And so Jaws there, very much set up here to just kind of keep rolling through second. Holy cow, they just keep getting picks.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
Lastro's
let
turn.
this happen. Yeah, Lastro's on the payload. It's okay, don't worry.
Cool.
Gangnam Jim is right there. We're good. No C9s. All right, Blade, Overclock, Transcendent, and Meteor Strike available for the Excelsior. Just a very quick engagement for Kellen, I can imagine, and then using that ult to get out of jail free.
Roger that.
Outlaws have so much to respond though, bros. I'd be a little bit careful if I were the Excelsior right now. Yaki's Blade's going to have to be rather big, but in these short corridors can be quite easy to get value.
Look at Pelican also taking the flank too. Oh no, Kellen, that
Oh
was...
my god! He's nothing but DNA left. What
Yeah.
was that? He didn't even have chance to use his ult. Pelican's in a little bit of trouble. He's got Discord, but he's chasing Yaki off. Yaki using that dash, doesn't want to go in that Blade without some sort of gap close. You do get the reset of the dash, of course, but ideally you want double dash to close even more space. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. There's the Flux, a Transcendence from downtown. Yes, of course, Gangnam Jim was in the backline. Who's already surprised at this point? A copy from Pelican. He goes to the Doomfist, but Flora starts off the fight with a headshot through the trans onto Merit, and now Iris is in a lot of trouble. Ganajin deals with the copy quite easily as Iris ends up falling, and New York Excelsior, they did lose a lot to start off with, but the Outlaws didn't have much to finish the fight.
Keep track of Gangnam Jin. Difficulty very hard. Where was he? He just came in with
No one knows.
Transcendence out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, it saved the point for them at least. Like, New York is not going to let Houston take the second point yet. But Houston's still going to be able to come back with the overclock and the nano. And I think that'll be enough damage to really push Houston over the edge of getting the second point.
Oh, not good. Yaki caught out for V5 as Pelican gets nano. Good sleep, not before he can kill Pelican. Overclock for Merit. No chance. Absolutely no chance. Where is Gangnam Jin? There he is. A headshot on another orb will kill Merit. He's 104 HP. Gangnam Jin taking the 1v1. He wins it, but Pelican's there to clean up. Outlaws still get the second point, however, despite the casualties.
Oh my god, that was a very dishonorable 1v1. I roll it back, run it back, okay? Gangnam Jin's gonna end up...
He can't flank now, Rose.
What do you
He just
mean?
can't.
No, that's not true. No, that's not true. You watch, Jaws. He's gonna come out
Flank through the mega room
yeah.
and just get owned. Okay, I'm waiting, Gangnam Jim. I'm waiting.
Just wait for it. It's gonna come. Look at where he is.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, he's... Okay, that's not a flank. He's just...
No, I know, but you could...
Which is what I say when I'm on the
walking.
flank. I'm off angling, guys. You're in the back line. Yeah, I'm off angling, man. Don't worry. We're good. Payload nearing completion. Piggy with the Transcendence. Gangnam Jin, unfortunately, nowhere near that Piggy with the Flux, even. No Transcendence to be had for Gangnam Jin. Piggy trying to get a connection. Does find one. Heals. Not quite. With those sticky bombs, it's so hard to heal through all of that instant damage. The Outlaws in the driving seat. The Transcendence forced a duplication onto from Pelican onto Gangnam Jin. Why not? A free Transcendence for the Outlaws might not even be needed as Yaki and the Zen end up going down. There is Flora onto the payload. Overclock. And now very much dead. The Outlaws, they cap point 3 with 1 minute and 22 to spare.
I like my headcanon that Pelican only copied Gangnam Jin to get the Zen 1v1.
True. That's what happened. That was exactly why.
Yeah, that's it. It's not about the Transcendence at the end of the game. It was about the 1v1. I like
I mean, look, at the end of the day, what's more honorable than a Zen 1v1? Not much.
That's true.
Not much. Maybe a Torp Hammer 1v1, actually.
Ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's actually pretty good.
The most honorable way. Remember coin flips back in the day?
Yeah.
Should have just been Torp Hammer 1v1s. That's what it should have been.
I
There we
agree.
go. All right, Excelsior on the offense, and now the Outlaws on the defense. Same old story, I can imagine, for the Outlaws. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I think that New York obviously just going to go ahead and use the Widowmaker to try to get a quick pick, and then like we'll see the pivot. But for Houston, same old, same old. You know, especially when you've got Piggy in the roster, you're definitely going to see this Sigma, and I really like the way that Piggy plays the Sigma. You know, it's very meticulous. You see the shields come out. It's really easy to be able to kind of integrate that to either protect the team or just kind of create space. And I think New York Excelsior right now is struggling a little bit on how to break the shield. So maybe this is why we're going to see maybe some Flora Sojourn? Is this Widow going to really stick here beyond just a pick? I'm not confident.
I can't imagine so. No, it's so hard to get so much stuff done on the Widow. Like, you have, like, what, 2 angles, maybe?
Yeah.
But then, like you were saying, Piggy, one of his best heroes by far is that Sigma, so deny the Widowmaker super easy.
Yeah, but Flora's on the Sojourn now, so that shield becomes a bit of a detriment there for the Houston Outlaws.
Does indeed. Quick flank, though, for New York. Ideally, they get Yaki and Kellen on this high ground and then push the Outlaw supports down. Oh, Pelican. He's playing Doorman, though. All good. No one can get past him. Oh. Kellen in, almost out to the spawn. A little twist there. Oh, the beam.
Wow.
We're good. It wasn't enough HP. It's all good.
Yeah, did you see how low Kellen got, though? You know, Pelican was definitely chasing that down, landed the sticky bombs, and then you saw the ante on top of that, so... New York Excelsior do have to kind of wait for that to expire, but they're ready to go back in.
Oh! Wow, that was a lot of damage. Antine, there was a couple of orbs, and a big old right click from Flora to start the fight off. Yeah, Flora can jump on top of there, and now both DPS from the New York Excelsior are in a good position to force the Outlaws' hand. And Ana Boost in the back, he's trying to kill the Ana. 3 punches will do it. 3rd time's a charm. Iris goes down in the end. Kellen taken pretty low, but he has Doomfist and gets out of there quite easily. A recontest from the Outlaws is possible, but looks unlikely now, as 2 ticks have been acquired.
Yeah, oh, look at that too. Pelican just trying to go in against Yaki. Easy takedown over there. Yaki gonna get this blade up really quickly as well for New York to keep this momentum going.
Piggy ends up going down. This forward momentum from Excelsior, pretty devastating to the Outlaws. Although this is exactly the same thing that happened, to be fair. You haven't got the furthest to walk either. Or Piggy.
You still have to wait for Piggy to come back, though, and look at how aggressive Kellen is playing so far forward. Just to buy some time for this cart around the corner, and this is exactly what you want to do, right? You were able to force Houston Outlaws into the farther spawns, you staggered them, and now that cart's going to be rounding this corner before you know it, so that you're taking away the advantage that Houston would have on the defense.
Ooh, a little bit of time in there. Yaki didn't see the Sojourn until he was up in the sky. Transcendence to stop that damage from the Flux, and a force of a Transcendence from Yaki. Doesn't have deflect, needs to get out of there, not quite quick enough. Looks like he got half body blocked. He forced Trans though, which is great. Means his blade can do a fair bit of work, but the Outlaws do win this fight.
Well, you also saw that Gangnam Jin used the Transcendence as well. Gangnam Jin is going to go down there. Nice to kind of get him out of the rafters, right?
Sure.
Just in case that sneaky little Zenyatta. But the fact that Gangnam Jin used the Transcendence already means that Pelican's Echo duplicate could be really, really strong here. I mean, Pelican's just kind of waiting behind New York
Pelican
as
spawn
well.
camping.
Yeah,
he just spawn camped Gangnam Jin that entire time. You saw him kind of look over to the monitor, it's like, I've got this. Like,
yep.
This Zen player, yeah, he's history. All good. Now they have to escort him. That's a lot of time burn off, actually. Just that one little pick there stops Excelsior getting any space.
Yep, but it is buying time for New York Excelsior to get other ultimates online. Before, we were really looking at Yaki's Dragon Blade to do the work, but now you've got an Overclock on top of that. Might even have the Meteor Strike up as well.
Tripping. Oh, Kellen's already in. Blade from Yaki. It's been nanoed. He's trying to find somebody, but a perfect answer. A nano onto Piggy to stop him falling. The nano blade, 2 ultimates versus 1. Outlaws come out on top. Pelican used the copy, but ends up getting taken out by Flora's railgun. Again, overclock also being used, but little to no effect. However, Yaki, yeah, he's pretty good in the neutral too. Iris does end up going down as both Gangnam Jin and Flora are trying to make a flank happen, and Excelsior in a good spot to end this, to put this payload in. Piggy with the flux could use it at any moment, and now that's the one tool Excelsior have to force out of the Outlaws.
Yeah, we traded the overclocks. We've got the meteor strike up. The flux also. Oh, Piggy's antied.
He's gone in again. Yaki with 2 kills.
Goodness.
Dash straight to the backline goes Kellen to try and help Yaki out. He's now sleeping, but he's not needed. Flora and Yaki cleaning up the Outlaws. Piggy had the perfect ultimate to stop that point going forward, but Yaki again in the neutral rows just takes care of the Outlaws backline.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Piggy didn't have a chance to react, and so it is better to save the ultimate rather than just kind of throw it away. And so you at least have it now, but at this point, Gangnam Jin has an answer, or should.
Oh, nice right click from Flora. Yeah, Pelicans feeling that one, that is for sure. Now an easy bit of space for Excelsior. Like you said, Rose, Gangnam Jin's got the Transcendence, the Flux comes out. Yeah, he's the only one that's hit, just pops the Trans. And now they can just walk on forward for free. Transcendence from the Outlaws, though, to try and turn the tides. Later ult normally better as Yaki finally pays for his sins. Pelican takes him out with the beam, and the Excelsior have been halted just for the moment.
Yeah, but look at how much Flora is outpacing Merit right now with getting the overclock online. They had traded them. They were at 0 at the same time, and Flora already has the overclock back, Jaws. This could be huge for New York to clutch out this final point.
Pelican a little bit too scared to pop his head for too long over that high ground. All right, 2 minutes to go. Might not get a better time bank than the Outlaws at this stage, as there's still a nano online for Houston. It's about the slow game, trying to force something now.
Yeah, but you gotta win now. You want time in the bank.
Nano onto Pelican, sticky bombs miss. He's still got the beam, but that's about it. Overclock. Not gonna, ooh! Snipe from downtown, a shield. Not quite saving Lastro's life. And now the blade from Yaki. He's in the back already. A nice power slide to get out of the way, but now you're trapped in a corner. Merit goes down, reset. Piggy in trouble. Pelican falls in the back line, who tried to go for a little bit something extra. And with the Excelsior pushing on forward with a nano boost to spare, should be an easy cap. 1 minute 18 seconds. 4 seconds separates both teams.
They do indeed, but that's exactly what New York wanted. They just wanted any time in the bank, and I love the way that Yaki played that. Did you notice how he just kind of like stuffed Iris like back into the spawn? No LOS onto whoever else was coming out from Houston to reinforce the point. And then Lastro as well just couldn't reach it in time despite having the immortality field up. Crazy.
Easy. Yeah, I think Lastro changing over to the BAP at the very last second, always a nice option if you're not really near the Transcendence.
Yeah.
You just throw out the lamp can win the fight sometimes. Oh, okay, so this was the pre-flux kill.
Oh.
Nice, couple of shurikens, easy resets, yeah. No one's looking at Yaki in that situation either. You're just so high up.
Yeah.
I think he wasn't able to get flux out in time, Rose.
Yeah, a nice little Z move there coming out from Yaki. But that's exactly why Piggy just didn't have time to use the ultimate. So it ended up working out because Piggy had it for the next fight. But like we also pointed out, Gangnam Jin had time to actually catch up. So it didn't actually work to stop the point from being completely captured. But let's go again, shall we?
Let's go again. One fight in a little bit, maybe, with this 1 minute time bank, or 1 minute 18, or whatever it was.
Maybe it's time to get some ultimates online? Unlikely, though.
Yeah, I mean, Yaki, the way he's been going. Oh, Piggy! Oh. Yeah, that was a nice punch by Kellen, forcing him in that small room. So health back there, but not much else. Excelsior with a good start. That was a very aggressive push on the Excelsior, but if you take care of Piggy, like, who steps up from the Outlaws here? Pretty much nobody. Well, nobody. Not pretty much, it's just nobody.
Yeah, the other heroes just don't have a lot of point presence or the ability to kind of sustain, so that was a huge pick for New York Excelsior to confirm early on. They've already gotten a point captured, Jaws. 20 seconds remaining, but they could really take this inch and turn it into a mile.
They very much could. Outlaws, though, playing it smart. They know they didn't want to go for the point again, so they're just holding this choke point. Sigma play pretty aggressively here, but you've got to be careful. Yaki always on the flank, and even Gangnam Jin, they're both in the flank right now. Pelican has spotted both of them, so maybe Gangnam Jin has to play a little bit more careful, but let's be real, he's probably not going to do that. Nope, there you go. He's forcing some sort of positioning, and he gets caught out by Pelican. Nice flank from the Echo, and now Merit's in trouble. A try shot to the head as Flora ends up going down. Pelican gets slept, but not before he does a ton of damage to the back line of the Excelsior. And now a boost on to Kellen. Somehow Myungbo built that up so quickly. Even a blade from Yaki, over a use of ultimates, just maybe, as there was a 2v4 situation. Not sure he wanted to use that. Now you've got really nothing left apart from the Meteor Strike, but overtime is here and the Outlaws need to touch.
I think it's okay. I mean, New York Excelsior just want the insurance policy to get as much distance as possible. Maybe even secure the second point. They're gonna have the Meteor Strike, the Transcendence on top just for the extra sustain, but it all comes down to this, Jaws.
Might be more of a weakness policy, we'll see, as the Outlaws have the copy. Oh, and Lastro almost had Trance. He gets taken out by Flora. Now the boost applied to Piggy. A perfectly timed duplication before Pelican ends up going down. Myungbo's the first casualty as Piggy is just wreaking havoc. The Flux into a couple of hyperspheres. With that nano boost, it does so much AoE damage. The Outlaws making their stand on point B. It's only Yaki left, and he hasn't got much health to bear. OT takes through. And the Outlaws stop Excelsior, but not after a valiant push. With only 1 minute and 18 seconds in that time bank, getting near point B, not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. I mean, New York can definitely walk away very happy with that so far, because we still have a 4th round to go. But as soon as New York lost the support backline, that was it. That was the lethal blow, and so Houston were able to stop them there. But winnable. Jaws, it's very winnable. New York could actually take the lead in this series.
I said it at the top of the show, a lot of these matches and some of the weekends as a whole, where lower seeded teams face higher seeded teams, in this case Outlaws versus Excelsior. Excelsior, you can see their record on the screen right now, 1-9, versus Houston Outlaws 7-3. Like, you're like, well, you go into the day, you're like, okay, maybe a little bit of 3 Overwatch, but not normally the case. In recent history, it's very much been a close affair through every single weekend. That was a godly flux from Piggy there. Both supports caught. Hypersphere accuracy looking good too. But yeah, it's been a much more of a close affair than what I think people have anticipated. And this happened week after week.
It has, and absolutely we need to be looking at New York Excelsior as the potential to get some upset here just because of how well they have continued to improve over this stage. I mean, I think looking at New York Excelsior and how they performed at the beginning of stage 1, you would not look at this and go, yeah, they could take some maps off the Outlaws, but here we are.
They need to hold on for a minute. Oh, that's a lot of damage. Luckily, Power Block blocking 90% of that. Plus, he was getting healed, but without Power Block, you're pretty vulnerable. However, so is Pelican up in the air. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're in the skybox, Yaki's still killing. He's got 2. Pelican and Iris go down to the Genji, and now Flora chasing at the backline. Yaki is still alive. He's discorded, but Lastro and Piggy are so low. Yaki putting the team on his back right now.
Absolutely. I mean, you end up getting that beautiful orb of harmony, and you are about to make peace with what you are going to do here. Houston actually switching now. Piggy wants a little bit more aggro, going to the Doomfist here.
Got to make something work. Outlaws have 20 seconds to go. Very little point presence though with the Doom. Rose, and that's what I worry about. Cannon Jin still up on the high ground, just perma-boxing Yaki. You can see that Harmony Orb attached to him constantly. And like you said, if you got that, you're pretty golden. Iris goes down to a Flora headshot. Pelican trying to make space on the height, but Yaki's just not giving him any of it. There's the orb on him, but it don't matter. Oh, a little bag too. Give it to him. A nice double kill for the Genji. Maybe make that a triple. Deflect don't matter. Excelsior take the lead in this series 2-1 as they defend Kings Row first.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You can see, though, that New York Excelsior, they are still looking at the rest of this series as work to do. But Houston Outlaws, they kind of fumbled that one. I'm not expecting that coming out from this type of team. But we do have more maps in the series, and one thing's for sure, this next map is going to be the ultimate showdown.
New York Stonks rising, Outlaws teetering on the edge. Can they close it out with a 3-1 and grant themselves their second win in this season? We'll have to wait and see after this break. Don't go anywhere. Could be a blowout. Overwatch League enjoyer? Are you a connoisseur of art? Well, look no further because the fan art gallery, it wants you. Show your art celebrating the Midseason Madness for a chance to be featured on the broadcast. We've had a ton of cool looking artworks already this season, so yeah, keep them coming. Right, back to the series at hand. Rose, New York Excelsior currently 2-1 up against the Outlaws as we head into Oasis as our fourth map, and could be the final map. We do have a substitution. Piggy is out, Dante is in, so Doomfist on control. That does kind of make sense.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely where the Houston Outlaws can close out the series, right? Yes, they need 2 wins here, but we're going to control, and then after that, we are in a week that's got double push. Houston did win the first one, but New York looks warm. I don't know, Jaws. It's really hard to call this one.
Yeah, New York are looking rather clean right now. Yaki and Flora both pulling their weight in this game so far. Yaki is leading the server in final blows at 37, although Pelican is not too far behind either. So both like Genji players currently are top of the boards. Pelican with 35 final blows, so only a couple really separates them right now. But I feel like Yaki is getting a lot more, it's like, whoa, Yaki show, because it's like Blades, it's Genji getting resets and stuff like that. But still, Flora's putting in a ton of work too. But with Dante coming in, you know Outlaws are going to go aggro. A little less when Piggy's in the roster because they want to play around that Sigma shield. But with Dante, you know what you're getting.
Oh, for sure. And so this is something that New York can maybe adjust to going into this particular map. It felt like they got a little caught off guard by it and let Houston kind of run away with things on New Queen Street, but it was still pretty close. It was Doomfist versus Doomfist then. We're looking at the same thing now. And so this map may be closer than what people expect it to be.
Oh, look at that. Much quicker rollout for Dante there. You saw on the overhead. Reached that high ground super quick. That's really pivotal too, yeah. That's just a rollout diff from Dante over Kellen.
That's gonna net Houston Outlaws the points already. Like, New York Excelsior have to back off from this, try to go again. And that gives so much advantage to Houston to just set up. I mean, look at Merritt right now. Woohoo!
Yeah, nice headshot. Alrighty. Yeah, if you don't get to the point first, that Doom has control of the high ground, especially with the environmentals. Can be quite tough to get out of that doorway, because then you just get punched off, or Sojourn and Echo, so much spam in a small corridor. So yeah, Outlaws claim first point.
They do. And we're looking at kind of a couple of things that are matched across the board, really. I mean, Merritt is definitely putting in a little bit more damage overall, but everywhere else we're kind of evenly matched. We just got to see kill confirms here for Neve.
See ya. I wondered if she fell off. Yes, yes. Yes, she did. Merritt is gone. Kind of with a nice little seismic slam into punch combo. And you can get away from that with the slide, but Merritt wasn't quite quick enough. Almost a flip for the New York Excelsior now. Lastro dueling with Flora on that Tracer. Flora had to back all the way up, and now Dante can just juggle. He's got so much pocket from the Outlaws backline, and now he's even got the Nano straight into the backline of the Excelsior now, with a nice couple of kills on to Kellen and Gangnam Jin. Myunbong don't stand a chance to make that a triple for Dante.
Yeah, I mean, with the way that Dante is just kind of setting the pace for these team fights, Houston is earning every single percentage that they are getting on the board right now. In fact, by the time that New York Excelsior actually come back into this one, we're starting to approach that one-fight territory here for Houston to be able to clutch this out. And they're coming up on some really impactful ultimates with the duplicate, the meteor strike. Dante can play even more aggressively here.
Pulse. Oh, Myunbong, goodbye. Goodbye. He was on his own completely. The rest of the team were just nowhere to be found. Kellen just trying to do a little jig there, a little dance to try and get away from Pelican's beam. But, I mean, the Outlaws just blow away the Excelsior. This round is an absolute wash right now. Flora is in the back with a pulse bomb, and Myunbong does have Nano, so you can get back in time to try and find something. What?
That wasn't
even a connect. Okay, Iris does fall to the Flora Pulse Bomb, but a Transcendence is going to keep the Outlaws in this. Well, we lost the Ana. Let me just dupe into one. A quick nade from Pelican's duplication is going to be good. He does get killed, or the copy gets killed, but it don't matter. Outlaws, clean wipe on Excelsior there.
Yep. That is exactly what I was talking about with the pace that Dante is kind of engaging and really forcing New York Excelsior to have to respond. And one of the reasons why they were able to win those 2 previous maps and be our leaders in the series so far is that they were doing that, right? The Sigma plays slower, Kellen able to play a little more aggressively, but the Doomfist versus Doomfist, it went in the way of the Houston Outlaws before, and that round definitely a testament to how Dante wants to play this is with a ton of aggression. Let's watch the pulse bomb, though.
This was the floor pulse.
Oh, you jumped!
Oh, Iris is already midair. Oh, I mean, that's just sad. That is I feel like that's happened way too many times to myself, more than I can count. You've already got momentum going one way and you can't shift momentum going the other way. You can slightly, but not enough, yeah. Unfortunate, but that's just how it goes. That's how it be. That's how it do. All right, the Outlaws again. Although this time actually a little bit slower to the back line, or to the mid even. Rollout not quite as successful. The Outlaws lose their back line very quickly. Wow, that was as quick as you like, really.
Wait, hey, look at this. Yaki and Pelican traded places.
Aggression. Oh.
We've got Yaki Echo and Pelican Genji this time. Oh, that's fun. I like it. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what you want to play with the Doomfist. We saw how Pelican was able to use the Echo in order to confirm a lot of the eliminations with the focusing beam, and so Yaki's kind of starting to do that too. But Pelican now switching over to the Tracer to try to get those duels with Flora, but at this point, New York have control of the map so far, and that means control of these health packs.
Yeah, it's definitely going to serve a whole lot of good for the DPS, the Excelsior. Not quite for Yaki though, no health pack on there. However, sleep on to Pelican, instant kill. Gangnam Jin is going to get saved. Oh, that was close. Dante just dicing with death a little bit there. Discorded. Didn't have that power block available to it, but the Outlaws do manage to find that flip.
Now they can keep control of this one as well, but New York Excelsior are coming up on ultimates first. Yeah.
We're just that 90% damage resistant. I mean, the beam does a fair bit of work. Good stick by Flora. Nice sleep, however. That was an unreal sleep from Iris. As he was going down, lobs it out, manages to connect with Flora. He falls. Nano boost onto Gangnam Jin, who's on the sidelines. But the Outlaws can still juggle this point throws. Especially with Yaki going down, they're not going to lose this. Absolutely not. Especially with Pelican and Dante on the point. Pulse bomb available. And now the backline, the Excelsior, feeling the wrath of the Outlaws as they continue to hold.
Yeah, I mean, look at that too. Iris is going to be able to get back in to get LOS on the rest of the Houston Outlaws that are still defending the point to keep them alive. And so just like that, Houston Outlaws changing the tide of this battle again.
Man.
They got to go again. New York's got to reset.
Yeah, what a stick from Pelican. Yeah, just one more fight. Go again. 60% of building. A couple of fights in the tank for Excelsior. Pelican in the 1v1 versus Flora. Doesn't want to die, so backs off.
I think Houston have this, though. I mean, look at the ultimates that they have and just the sustain. Dante once again with the Meteor Strike. Is this going to be a confirm?
Nicely. Power block used. Beam straight through it as Dante falls. Excelsior trying to take control of that mega health pack. Lastro was just alone, just like me in a school disco, alone and awkward in the corner. Merritt with a nice double kill onto the back line of the Excelsior, but it doesn't seem to matter all too much. Yaki has the dupe if he really needs to use it as they try and cap the point. It's only Pelican to really touch now. Merritt has used that power slide already and meet the disintegrating beam of Yaki. A pulse bomb to end Dante's life. And now with only one fight to go, the Outlaws can send us to a map number 5. 97% versus 50 in building.
Houston looking at the pulse bomb for Pelican. Good to go after somebody in the back line. But if that target is Gangnam Jin, then you've got the Transcendence you can force out and then go in with something like the Overclock. So Houston have tools to engage and sustain.
Transcendence, dupe, Meteor Strike. Everything thrown in from Excelsior. They want to win the fight, and they best do it, because they've invested everything. Yaki showing his sick healing flicks on the Ana. Is he going to be able to get a nano? Ooh, 2 seconds to go. Someone get healed. Okay, there we go. Applies the nano to Flora. However, when the Duke does run out, the nano also fades away, but not before he can get the kill on to Lastro. 83% for Excelsior. They threw everything in that fight. They've got a nano and maybe a pulse for last now.
That could be enough, but Merit still has the overclock to use. We have seen the impact of this ultimate with this player.
Merit, one of the best sojourns in the league. He's trying to find Flora. He's giving them the whoop. Oh my god, his face just melted. Another one. Oh, just keep giving it to him. Another one. Merit, that's 3. Go on, just power slide right into his face. Let's get 4, please. Nope, doesn't want to go for it. Outlaws end up taking the map and taking us to game number 5.
Wow, a 5-map series. Who thought we would be here, Jaws? New York, of course, was leading the charge just a little bit, but Houston evening the score, and then, oh my gosh, another push map to end it all.
Sick little triple there from Merit at the very end to secure the map. A 2-0 on control with Dante in the mix. Does he stay in for push to round the series out, or do New York come back? We'll have to wait and see after this break. Yo, welcome back. Map number 5 on the table. Rose. Outlaws looking to come back into this one. They just, I wouldn't say narrowly. It was a crushing defeat for the New York Excelsior on Oasis. As we head into push, we're going to Colosseo, and Dante is staying in the roster.
He is. That's not a surprise. Colosseo has some great Doomfist rollouts, and Dante was an integral part of making sure the Houston Outlaws could outpace and outmatch the New York Excelsior. As they also won the first push map with Dante on New Queen Street. This is a good look for the Outlaws, that's for sure.
I mean, Merit last map was near a deadlift. That was on Oasis. 12 out of the 26 final blows for Houston. He's looking good on that Sojourn. 3 of them with the ult at the very end. So yeah, he's been looking rather clean. Who's really surprised? Statistically right now, the best Sojourn in the league. All right, Colosseo, like you said, Dante staying in, Doomfist. You want to get to the midpoint first. Seen a couple of different looks from Kellen, but I can imagine it's going to be the same sort of thing, Rose, with the Doom.
Yeah, I think so as well. It's just going to be able to match Dante a lot better, and how the Houston Outlaws really want to kind of push the envelope. So we'll definitely see that from New York. Now, though, I'm not going to look at the supporting heroes just yet, because I don't know about that Mei. That doesn't look right for this comp, but everything else across the board does look very standard for what we have seen coming out from both of these teams so far, and what is going to give them the best chance at being able to win this series. It all comes down to this, Jaws.
All comes down to this. Can Outlaws close this one out, or could New York claim their second win of 2022? Now, ideally, you don't want to be the team on the other end of that. That is for sure. Very quick rollouts to the mid portion of the map. Not where the bot is, but where that mega health pack is. Ooh. No random reflect kill. All good.
Okay. So no one falling just yet. Still waiting for that first blood to be drawn. But as you posture for position, you're also looking for a key opening. Yaki not finding it quite yet.
Yeah, not quite. Although that railgun got reflected, could have been a very different story. You reflect the disruptor shot too, mind you. That's rather frustrating. If you're the Sojourn, you get a disruptor shot thrown at your face.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but look at this. You know, kind of still waiting in the neutral here for just. Oh, well, just kidding.
The neutral, Dante was on the wrong side of the map there, couldn't get healed. Yaki finished him off with a quick blade. There is, or a quick dash I should say, not the blade. Gangland Jim and Yaki, name a better duo on the flank. Woohoo! Didn't expect that, did you, Iris? Outlaws now forced all the way back to spawn. Excelsior win the first fight, and Yaki's got a blade already. In fact, it's forced Pelican to switch Rose straight onto the Echo.
Yeah, I like the Echo look, though, from Pelican, just because I think you're going to have a little bit more value. You know, the focusing beam has been really powerful to just be able to confirm some of these picks. And right now, you're really hoping for anything to be able to deal with what New York Excelsior is throwing at you.
Yeah, Pelican has been killing Kellen over and over again with that beam. It's been kind of annoying. Nano, blade, straight to the backline. Iris had no chance. Maybe maybe not. Maybe not. A Nano onto Lastro. They're doing a trading support for a DPS, but the Excelsior still managed to gain a whole lot of ground. Excelsior can stand tall too. Ganajin does have the Transcendence coming up. Kellen with the old Flora as well, so it could be a nice little three-piece. And in fact, Flora gets the better of Merit. A Transcendence for both sides have been used, but Ganajin using his one a little bit later on. Overclock looking to the skies, can't quite find the double tap onto Pelican. But the Outlaws still scurrying for cover as Ganajin once again on the flank, but he's going to be good. The rest of his team are going to join him, and the Houston Outlaws forced all the way back again.
They are, but look at this. If you can stagger Lastro here, that could be really, really big to just be able to get past the bridge. That's always been a tough spot for these teams.
Oh. Ganajin and Pelican trading once again. Like, I mean, it's just trade after trade after trade, right? You're looking at a car boot sale at this point. New York Excelsior still with good control of the bot, but it is just a brawl right now. Yaki recalling to his death. Finally, the scales have been tipped in favor of the Outlaws.
Outlaws need to get a little bit more meterage to be able to catch up, though. New York do have a lead, but also they're not giving up any ground yet, Jaws. New York's Excelsior still here very strong, using these high grounds.
Wow, what a punt. What an engagement from Dante. That looked way too far for him to guarantee a kill, but takes care of Myeongbok quite easily. Charged up railgun shot. Gunner and Jin's history, and Dante now flying up to the spawn doors almost.
You have to. You absolutely have to. This is the hardest point on the map right now that these attacking teams need to get through. If you allow this defense to set up on the bridge, you may not be able to make it past.
Kellen jump into the backline, already going pretty low, and Ganajin ends up going down. Who's the backline? Well, it's Pelican. There's the dupe. Honorable 1v1 as the Ana. Does get killed out of the dupe, but it don't matter. Support's already dead. A one-man wrecking crew is Pelican right now. The Outlaws, they should be able to get the checkpoint by the looks of it. Dante chasing Flora all the way back, and Excelsior in a troubling situation.
Are looking like they're going to struggle a little bit here. I mean, hey, Yaki is here, but not before the point gets captured. Houston just unlocked those closer spawns.
Pretty good. Lastro under no pressure whatsoever. Excelsior struggling to get out of the spawn doors right now. Kellen's found himself out there, but unfortunately, sent right back. It's free postage. Outlaws just pushing on through. I mean, this is their map, really. This is Pelicans, more specifically. However, Yaki does find 2 kills, maybe a third, not quite, 2 HP, and going to survive. Dante willing to take the 1v1s. Got all the backup in the world, is pretty low. Can he get away? 24 HP. He does indeed.
Wow, getting the Mega just in time as well to keep himself up and alive.
Oh, wow, Kellen. Oh, has to use that ult to get away. That really sucks for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay, though. I think that well, at least it gets you back to the bot faster to get back into the front line. Well, I'm trying to find the silver lining here. It didn't look great. But now, at least New York Excelsior can look at the overclock. They can look at the pulse bomb. Yaki has been getting some pretty big sticks and is already behind the Outlaws.
Flora trying to end it. However, Lashro with the Transcendence. A bit harder now to get those railgun shots or the double shots off, but he still manages to do it. Iris falls, and a late Transcendence from Excelsior. Kanachin has been so clean with these ultimates, making sure that the enemy Trans is running out, and then he pops his. Shifting the tempo in their favor. Excelsior now pushing at this first checkpoint.
They want to be able to catch up. They're not too far behind the Houston Outlaws. They are able to make it past this bridge, but now they've got to watch behind them for where Houston is going to be trying to defend this from.
All right, Merrick's got an overclock of his own. Excelsior have the Nano, so Nano onto Kellen, go for the engage on high ground, hope Yaki can clean up on the damage. Yaki's already in position, and there it is. Kellen up to height, Merrick going pretty low, but Kellen unable to get past Dante. And with a punch missing and the Nano running out, he has to back up. Failed execution there onto the high ground for the Excelsior, leaves Yaki a little bit high and dry. He's still doing a fair bit of damage. Dante's got his back to him. The power block ain't going to protect you there. Overclock still doing its work, but no kills, just space provided by the Outlaws.
I mean, at this point, though, Merritt's overclock is run out. New York Excelsior hear that. They're just going to go ahead and take advantage.
Oh, what a stick! Oh, doesn't land, though. Well, it lands, but it doesn't gain a kill. Yaki with a nice connection, but that's just about it. Now with the 4 meters to go before this checkpoint is unlocked, the Excelsior have to find kills. They managed to get 2 as Gang Nam-Jin once again comes up big. Yeah, give him a little kick. Get him out of it. Get him out of it. There you go. Checkpoint unlocked. However, that little line is going to take some getting there. That bot still has to go on a small break.
But the fact that you end up getting a chance to get those closer spawns, it actually gives you a lot more life in this game. They're going to be able to catch up to the progress that Houston Outlaws has made.
Blade into the bag. Oh, air kill onto Flora. Transcendence used a little bit later than what was planned, I can imagine. Flora ends up going down, but it don't matter. A nano boost onto Gangnam Jin forces the Transcendence from Lastro. Can they keep him alive? No, they cannot. The Excelsior have the lead. 2 minutes to go. The Outlaws need to make a stand on this bridge to regain control of the bot.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get that time, though. Look at this, though. Iris is going to try. Okay, Myunbong falls. All right, Houston gonna be able to get control back, but we'll have to see if they're able to push it even further. New York Excelsior still have a minute and a half to get back into this one, regain control, and they do have the pulse bomb once again. Yaki has had some huge sticks in this map and looking for a big pick.
He got sussed, but Pelican looking a little bit more sussy going down. Myunbong with an easy kill, maybe a triple shot in the air with the help of the Zen. There's only a meter separating New York and Outlaws right now, and New York have control of the bot. The Houston Outlaws have to go all the way back. A pulse bomb thrown out. Iris doesn't jump into one this time around. Yaki has to hit that recall. He's out of the fight for just a moment, but this is all New York right now. They just need to stall. Dante got nanoed. He's straight on top of Gangnam Jin, but has to use that power block fairly early. Even a meteor strike to get back to the back line, or maybe the front. He has to turn the tide somehow as Lastro ends up going down. Dante's gonna fall too. 44 seconds to go, and New York are in control.
Oh my god, yeah, Kellen with that huge pick onto Dante means that New York can just start blazing forward. They are creating a path. Joss, they see the finish line. Is Iris gonna get sussed out?
He's not making a single whisper. This nade has to be big. He knows one of them's low. The nade onto Gangnam Jin does result in a kill. Pelican follows up quite easily, but now the defense for the New York Excelsior. Kellen wasn't quite quick enough. Iris hiding away in the vents. New York didn't quite get there in time to save their supports. And now the Outlaws in control of the bot as overtime approaches.
But that's it though, right? New York Excelsior, they still have tools to come back into this match with. You've got the meteor strike, you've got the nano. That could save somebody as Merit is about to pop this overclock.
Okay, Kellen's there. The bot was going to move so quickly towards that golden line of victory. Kellen and the rest of the gang have made it. A nano boost onto Kellen could be it. There it is. Straight to the back line. Lastro in a little bit of trouble, but Kellen turns his sights towards Iris. Iris falls over, and Flora holding down the payload on his own. They may have traded, but healers are a miss for the Outlaws. The Transcendence is the only thing that's going to keep them alive in this fight now as Kellen jostles over point on... What? No way! Yaki goes down to a headshot there. Head in hands. Yaki with the post bomb could have ended it. A late Transcendence of Gangnam Jin is going to be good. Outlaws have been in this situation once before, and they might come up big once again. They do! Merit, Pelican, and Dante save the Outlaws from getting owned by the Excelsior. Once again, Colosseo, second time around, managed to keep them in the series, take the dub away from Excelsior. They jump up in the air, and they should be happy with that one. Lastro in the chat, they know what they did. It could have been Excelsior's second map win or game win of this year, but Outlaws denied them at the very last moment.
Oh my goodness, the clutch factor of the Houston Outlaws right now. You are a fan. I think you were jumping up and down just like the Outlaws were celebrating that final moment of victory. But we have to give commiserations to the New York Excelsior, Jaws. I feel like that is just due. They played an incredibly good match, and I really hope that if you're a New York Excelsior fan, this gives you a lot of confidence about their performance going into future matches. Because Houston Outlaws, they're no slouch, you know? They are a tough opponent, and I think this match just proved that New York Excelsior can start to hang with some of the best.
Yeah, 3-2 close series. Maybe Kellen again gets upgraded slightly, and Johnny's tank power rank, going to have to wait and see. But the Houston Outlaws, once again on Colosseo, come up clutch on that corner. That is the Outlaws corner at this point in time. It needs to be renamed. I'm not sure what the call out is right now, I guess.
At least it's not, you know, they didn't leave the bot alone. That would have been disastrous.
At least they didn't get off payload. Thank goodness for that. We already had one C9 this series. I'm not sure they could stomach another one, or anybody could stomach another one. No. Let's have a look at the player of the match, though. I mean, the Outlaws did some spectacular work towards the very end, and at the helm, it's going to be Merit. His Sojourn play looking clean once again. There's a reason why he's rank 1 right now in the league for Sojourn stats, and this series proved why.
Oh yeah, I mean, whether it was just kind of the raw damage, the consistency, or if it was those overclocks putting in some major work, Merit is definitely a player you need to be wary of, and I think New York Excelsior overall did a great job of trying to deal with that overall threat, but Merit can pop out of nowhere sometimes and really surprise with that damage from a flank.
Yeah. 15 limbs, we'll call that, per 10.
Yeah, round up
final
there.
blows per 10. 5 railgun kills per 10. Not looking bad whatsoever. I mean, Iris opened it up at the very end with that nade and with that sneaky position. And then Merit came in to clean on up. And killing Yaki with Pulse Bomb at the very end of that fight, I mean, that was it. That Pulse Bomb, especially in those close quarters, devastating when you have to perma-touch that payload. Merit putting up numbers right now, Rose.
Yeah, absolutely. This is super exciting to see how these players are actually playing to such a high level as well with this new hero. I know it was in for stage number 1, but let's just say it entered the game for stage 2 because it really did in terms of the meta.
True. All right, everyone's got to catch their breath. I think Outlaws need to wipe the sweat off their brow, that is for sure. They got a well-deserved break now. And we're also going to take a break. We'll see you. We've got 2 more banging games coming up in a bit.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Upper Deck, the official trading card of the Overwatch League. And by TeamSpeak, the official voice supplier of the Overwatch League.
break, everybody. I'm here joined now by Piggy from Houston Outlaws. Piggy, congratulations on the win. Now, I do feel like this match was a lot closer than expected. So my first question for you, Piggy, is were you at all surprised by how well New York Excelsior were playing against you guys? And also, how'd you guys manage to get the win today? 자, 첫 번째 질문은 오늘 많은 사람들과의 생각과는 달리 오늘 굉장히 뉴욕이 좀 놀랍게도 좋은 모습 많이 보여줬던 것 같아요. 원래는 좀 많은 분들이 휴스턴이 좀 쉽게 이기지 않을까라는 말들이 많았는데 굉장히 끝까지 접전이었고 피기 선수가 보시기에 좀 뉴욕과 경기를 하면서 좀 그들의 경기력에 대해서 좀 놀라셨는지 그리고 또 마지막에 어떻게 승리를 거두시게 되셨나요?
별로 솔직히 잘한다고 생각 안 하고 이번에 저희가 실수를 너무 많이 하고 이번에 플로라 선수가 변수를 너무 많이 내가지고 게임이 좀 힘들었다고 생각하는데 네 그랬던 것 같아요. 플로라 선수가 변수를 많이 내가지고 저희가 좀 힘들었던 것 같고 네 잘하는 팀은 아닌 것 같아요.
Right. I don't think that they're actually a good team. I think the reason why it was so close was because we made a lot of silly mistakes. And I think, but one standout player was definitely Flora from the New York Excelsior because he constantly him getting the picks, and I think he was the driving force of that team that sort of made the game easier for the team. But at the end of the day, I don't think it was them being good. I quickly want to follow up on that. Why do you think that? So you said that it wasn't New York Excelsior being good. It was more that you guys made a lot of mistakes. What sort of mistakes did you guys make? 방금 이제 피기 선수가 말씀했다시피 뭐 잘한 팀은 아니지만은 그래도 꽤 접전을 간 이유가 휴스턴 팀이 좀 많은 좀 이제 잘못을 했다라는 얘기를 하셨는데 좀 뭐가 좀 잘 안 돌아갔나요? 이제 팀적으로 봤을 때 휴스턴 쪽에서는.
일단 대회하는데 펠리칸 선수가 계속 어떻게 해야 될지 모르겠다고 계속 울고 그냥 그 플로라가 싸움 전에 계속 킬을 내가지고 그 잘리는 것 때문에 네 그래서 그 잘린 것 때문에 게임이 좀 힘들었던 것 같아요. 그리고 펠리칸도 오늘 좀 못했던 것 같아요.
All right. So, Piggy says that, yeah, I think Pelican he was constantly crying and nagging that, he didn't know what to do. And I think it was Flora was just a menace to the team. Him getting the kills just sort of stopped us on our track. And also, I honestly believe Pelican sucked today. Piggy, one last thing. I mean, I think today we saw you play 2 maps. Of course, you got the win, but I do want to ask you because both of the maps, unfortunately, when you were playing, Houston lost those 2 maps. What sort of mistakes do you think you made, and also what sort of improvements can you make going forward for the Houston Outlaws team? 자, 그럼 마지막 질문으로 이제 피기 선수에 대해서 좀 얘기를 해보고 싶어요. 오늘 경기를 두 맵을 이제 뛰시게 되셨는데 그 2개에서 어떻게 보면은 좀 아쉽게 패배를 거두시게 되셨습니다. 좀 어떤 문제점이 있었고 또 어떻게 하면 좀 그거를 고칠 수 있을까요?
일단 첫 번째는 화물 신경을 안 써가지고 그것 때문에 좀 멘탈 많이 나갔던 것 같아가지고 다음부터는 뒤에 누구 남아있는지 확인하고 펠리칸 선수가 조금 덜 잘리면 이길 것 같아요.
All right. So I think for me, definitely one of the biggest thing was not paying attention to the payload, and that led us to the C9. So moving forward, I think I'm gonna make sure to check the backline, check the payload, and also I'm gonna say this again: Pelican, if he dies less, I think we will win. All right, Piggy, that is it for the interview. Thank you so much, and again, big congratulations on the win. 자, 이걸로 인터뷰 마치겠고요. 오늘 너무나 재밌는 인터뷰 너무 감사드립니다, 피기 선수님. 감사합니다. 바이바이.
감사합니다.
What in the world?
Pelican just catching strays left and right.
I think you're coming out taking names. That was crazy. Just threw his teammates under the bus.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was laughing. He was laughing.
He was joking.
Yeah.
And he did admit that, moving forward, they will look more to the cart and careful where everyone is.
I mean, they say that, but this is like the 3rd consecutive match with C9s in them.
Yeah, it's no longer just like, it happened, whoops,
Yeah.
like it's like this is a consistent problem and you need to do something
Yeah.
to work it out because like this, yeah, as you said, 3 matches in a row where they've had pretty tragic C9s. One
Well,
was
Atlanta
for them,
was one,
but
but
yeah, you
yeah.
know, like as a whole, as a collective,